Hello YouTube, Messenger the Baller here with another video, and of course using the gameplay background from Soul Calibur 6 just for a little entertainment. Similar how other people use video games and discuss random stuff, random politics, opinions, etc. etc. So just a reminder, aside from discussing about relationship, because I do talk lots about relationship throughout my YouTube channel, I do want to discuss a little personal stuff, but had to keep myself anonymous because, it's a crazy world out there. People are getting more and more crazier. Me, I feel like sometimes I'm losing my edge, but I constantly remind myself, no, I'm not that rock bottom. What prevents me from going over the edge is definitely religion. And lately I've been playing the video game Warhammer Chaos Gate. As a matter of fact, I might feature it in another video, but not this video because this video I want to discuss something not very spiritual, but yeah, it's gonna be for another time. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that what prevents me from going over the edge is definitely spiritual and religious belief. And I do believe religion is important, but organized religion, there are valid criticism, and I feel like religion itself, it needs to be more personal and introverted or introvert issue, introspective issue. There you go. That's the word that I'm looking for. Something that you have to look inside of you. So yeah, organized religion, I sort of support it because of the community, and a lot of people they're kind of against it because they think that hey, that might go against our beliefs of do whatever you want, be individualist. But here's the thing, you cannot have both words. There are compromises like a balance between them, but you cannot have absolute one side of the other, if that makes any sense. But anyway, going to the topic of the video, because this is something I really, really want to discuss. And sorry guys, I'm going out of it. Like, I'm going all over the place all over again. I keep doing that. But anyway, what I want to discuss is my bad habits of being a good student. Throughout my life, I always struggle with school, but not struggling with learning, more like struggling with being disciplined. I feel like I could do well in school. I just need to discipline myself of doing better. Lately, this past few years, I learned a lot about myself when it comes to academics, and I realized that, okay, first of all, everyone is, in my opinion, everyone could be potentially smart. And I say potentially because I do believe that you could go from a dumb person to a smart person. It's all about habits. It's all about training your brain to learn something. Because I do believe in neuroplasticity. For those of you who don't know, neuroplasticity is a medical terminology where the brain starts to rewiring itself and gets stronger. And a lot of people they they don't know about this. They assume that when you're a dumb person, you're like permanently dumb forever. But no, your mentality can change over time. It all depends on your habits. It all depends on your diet, the environment that you live in. Because yes, your environment does affect you, and it also depends on the community that you're with. People, as I stated in my last video, I stated that relationship is more important than you think. So I strongly believe that neuroplasticity is a real thing. And scientists, they're very baffled by this because the brain is, you know, a very unique, a unique organ that's very difficult to understand. One of my favorite stories that happened in real life, and you guys could look it up, you guys could Google it, is a guy who got shot during the 1800s in America. and he lived a normal life. He lived a normal life. He was capable of still learning, still remembering what his daily habits are, and he died like a normal human being. Now, when he got shot in the brain. Usually, getting shot in the brain is a complete death sentence, but this guy, he left a lot of doctors baffled because of the sheer luck that he has and the fact that he still gets to live a normal life. Now, stories like that, I do believe that the chances of that happening exist for everybody. I believe in chances. I believe that life is not absolute, it's more like a percentage. The rest is basically on your own decision. This is why throughout my YouTube channel I keep talking about how how important it is to think for yourself. Yeah, I hesitated because I want to make sure I'm using the right words here. But the number one thing I want you guys to understand is think for yourself. Now, once again, I'm sorry, I keep going all over the place. So, what this has to do with my academic failures? Well, that's something that I kind of learned about myself this past couple of years. You could say that I have a minor ADHD. It's not severe, but it is minor. It is there, and you could say it's undiagnosed. Like, I haven't seen the doctor. I haven't seen any professional in this state of field. But it was super hard for me to be disciplined and read a book, read, study the words, study carefully, make flashcards, all that shenanigans. It's very hard for me to do that because I rather play video games and get that gratification from video games than, sitting down with a notebook and a pen and reading some books, academic books, for my brain to learn and absorb. And the reason why I feel so shameful about this because throughout my life I realized that we have to learn constantly in order to improve ourselves. If you're not improving, you end up becoming a liability and nobody wants you around. And that kind of hits me very hard. People, this is the sad reality. People want other people that are useful to them. In other words, an asset. If you're not an asset, then they see you as a liability. And if they see you as a liability, then they'll discard you, they'll throw you away. And this is why learning is such a big deal because when you learn, when you get the experience, when you know what you're doing, people start to see you as an asset and they want you around. The whole reason why we keep seeing articles after articles of college graduates not able to get a job is because these job markets, they've been telling us throughout the years, and I clearly remember seeing this when I was a teenager, is that most jobs they want people with experience because they want people that knows what they're doing, that they already got the experience, they already learn everything that they need to learn. They don't want anyone like fresh out of the bus and not know what to do. So yeah, I clearly remember that in my couple of fast food restaurant jobs. People, they didn't want to teach me there, and they kind of expect me to be a mind reader. So they kind of like they want me to pick up the things very quick. And what's even sadder, and if you guys seen my left clip video, because I have a goofy face, because I have a face that people don't take it seriously, they assume that I'm a freaking retard. It's all about the way you look, and yes, looks does matter. And I will definitely say that I sort of fit in that stereotype because it's super hard for me to sit down still and read a book and learn what I'm supposed to learn. I could definitely do it. I clearly remember in my middle school years, you could say that I academically peaked in my middle school years because I got super depressed that I wanted to do something different. And when I finally did something different, nothing really changed and I reverted back to what I originally did. It's very hard for me to stay focused on something that I need to learn to do. But at the same time, it feels like just like playing video games is a waste of time because I don't see the money coming in. I don't see the wealth coming in. The only time I see wealth coming in is when you get license, like official social proof license that hey, this guy's legit, he could do it, and you start getting jobs application for it. To give you guys an example of what I'm talking about, let's just say you're an you're a mechanic, and let's just say you got a license to be certified a mechanic, or you want even a better example, nursing, especially since I've seen a article about a woman faking to be a nurse. But what's funny is that this woman, she is very smart, and despite she was a fake nurse, she was unlicensed. She knew what to do, and she helped a lot of patients with their medical issues. And despite that, she did a fantastic job. She got arrested all because she did not have a license, and that right there, that's the issue. A lot of jobs today, they're essentially safeguarded behind licensing, and today we're kind of like stuck with school and other shenanigans just to get a license, a piece of paper saying that hey, we're not that complete idiot, we know what to do, and then of course we get the job that we want. And why I'm using the nurse as an example is because that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Most people are not dumb. The problem is most people do not want to teach other people that could potentially help them in return. Me personally, I'm not okay. I'm not trying to say I'm smart, but I'm also not trying to say that I'm retarded. There are many moments that I feel like I am retarded because I am a goofball, but I could definitely be a very helpful individual towards people that needs me. The problem with me personally, and this is something I learned about myself, is that I'm very anxious and I'm very paranoid because I don't want to make things worse. When things gets worse, people have the tendency to blame each other and start teething each other. And I know a lot of people seen this for themselves, and when that shit happens, they walk away or they starts to become defensive, and of course it snowballs from there from unnecessary drama. And that right there, that's why I isolate myself. I don't bother going, beyond stuff like that because I do have a weird fear of being too successful when it comes to academics because I feel like it snowballs when you start becoming successful academically. And I've seen with my own eyes how being book smart doesn't really translate to wealth, doesn't really translate to being useful or helpful. One of my favorite TV shows that I used to watch when I was a little kid was Malcolm in the Middle. And the episode that I clearly remember to the neat little details about that episode because that episode I find very fascinating was the episode called Future Malcolm. In that episode, Malcolm found an individual that was very smart. He was very book smart, but the problem is he was an absolute loser, nothing to inspire, and stuff like that is exactly what I kind of fear for myself. And that's why I isolate myself. But yeah, my stepfather he took a notice of this and he kind of called me out on it. But here's the thing, he doesn't fucking help me, and that's why I have a weird bad relationship with my stepfather because he acknowledged like the issues that I'm going through, but he doesn't want to fucking help me. And to me, that's like a failure of a parent. That's why I make a self promise that if I ever become a father myself, I would do everything I can to help my child. Even if I see that my child is struggling on an issue, I'll do my best in my part to be emotionally supportive and help him out because I do not want him to grow up like I did. I do not want him to be socially stunted like I did. Right now, I have a little brother, and my little brother, he is far more sociable than I am. And me, I encourage it. I encourage him to go out party. I encourage him to go out with his friends and have a good time. As long as they're doing legal stuff and as long as, they're not doing stupid stuff that they're gonna regret it later down the line. Obviously, they have to be disciplined and they have to say no to certain stuff that are morally wrong. Obviously, everybody wants that for their younger siblings, their daughters and sons. But at the same time, obviously, I know I keep saying obviously, there's nothing wrong having fun. There's nothing wrong, enjoying life to the fullest. But that being said, yeah, the whole point of this video, guys, is discussing about my lack of discipline of academic. One of my favorite moments in my life that I feel super accomplished was reading an entire chapter book from the first page to page. I think it was 258 pages, or actually, it was way more. No, it's way more. And matter of fact, I think it's 450. Now that I think about it, it's way more than 200. So it was definitely a thick chapter book. So it's way more than 200. I think it was double than that, like 400 or 500 pages. But still, when I read from the first page to the final page, I felt super accomplished. And my brain felt like I learned new words because that chapter book was, you know, very heavy on the vocabulary, but I kind of like it. So yeah, guys, I'm just making a video ranting my words out, discussing how I feel a little shameful for not being academically disciplined, but I have to keep trying. I have to keep learning because I want to get credentials. I want to be licensed, and I want to showcase that hey, I'm not a complete fucking idiot. I could do certain things. I could be very helpful. And more importantly, I want to bring money in the table, as as anyone does, especially a man. Any man wants to bring money in the table to provide for their family. So me, I got that instinct, that masculine instinct, to be helpful, to be a provider, a good provider. Well, guys, I'm gonna end it here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And sorry that I keep blabbing my words all over the place, but yeah, please put a comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. Message in the bottle, over and out.